You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different? Man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro. Don't waste your time no more. Who the f*** are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna f***ing do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're driven. There's no way that you make it. And maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Oh, will you fight?
Hello and welcome to Game Day from the UK, another Miami Heat UK live pre-game streaming show here tonight to preview tonight's game against the Indiana Pacers. We should have three, but we've only got two at the moment. We've got Oli Rahimi, Sam Aquara with us. We think Bilal should be with us, but hopefully he'll dip in soon and join. First of all, Oli Rahimi, how are you, sir?
Yes, I'm very well, thank you. Dan, how are you?
Good, not too bad, thank you. Sam Aquara, how are you?
I'm good. I'm doing pretty good. 3 weeks to Christmas, so all bubbly.
3 weeks to Christmas. Oh, we have Bilal. Sorry, he's just said he's here. I didn't see you down there, Bilal. Hello, Bilal. There you are. How you doing, man?
Oh, I'm good.
Sorry, I see he's messaging me saying I'm here. I'm backstage. Yes, yeah, guys, we're all good. As always, we'll start with a reflection on the game before. And when we came on last time, Ollie, you was with me with John. We was about as deflated as we could be because the news about Bam had just broken, and then we duly get blown out to the Cleveland Cavaliers on our home court where we've been pretty good up until then. Is this a bleak sign of things to come, Ollie? I know we was missing Jimmy as well. He's going to be missing this 2-game quick road trip, but it wasn't the best advert, was it? If we wanted some optimism to get us back into sort of positive vibes after a really sort of damning half hour or so before we went on, that wasn't it, was it?
No, not really. Yeah, it's not looking good for the next couple with Jimmy out as well. It's sort of a little picture of things to come, I think, with Bam being out. It's going to be difficult. Like, there's no two ways about it. It's going to be really tough, especially with the lack of big man depth that we have now. We spoke about it the other day, but yeah, Dedmon coming in, Yurtseven and Haslam probably aren't going to get meaningful minutes. And with Markieff out for however long he's out for, then we're lacking in terms of depth in the front court. So yeah, it's not looking great. I think we might just have to sort of grit our teeth and bear it for a little while with Bam being out. But yeah, we've just got to fight through. It's next man up. It's how Miami have done it for years, and got to keep going that way, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. And one sort of thing I was highlighting on the last show was that I wasn't really over optimistic on the fact that we now have to rely quite heavily on Dwayne Dedmon to where he's so impactful in just a handful of minutes, maybe giving you anything between 10 and 15 minutes. He's suddenly going to have to be playing half hour plus. But Sam, he was impactful. He played well. He's probably our best player for the game. I don't have the box score in front of me, but he picked up many rebounds. Looks okay offensively as well. So that's a sign of maybe something a bit positive to come, isn't it? That Dwayne is there to step up.
Yeah, I mean, he has proven himself even from the last season, so we know we can rely on him. But slotting him into a starting role and a key role at that, I think he played first quarter, like all of the first quarter in the last game, and like quite a bit chunk of the second quarter. I think 17 minutes straight to start the game. I don't know how long we can do that for, and I don't know if Coach Spo was comfortable doing that for a long stretch of games because considering how long Bam's going to be out. So I think that's something we need to be watchful of. And just try to keep a change on our perspective. I know he's reluctant to give Yurtseven some minutes, but we're going to have to at some point because Dedman's not getting any younger, and we will need him for later in the postseason.
Yeah, which is what we said on the last live as well. We said it's the one position you didn't really want your all-star to go down because now that's a key piece gone. We're relying on a 36, 37-year-old Deadman and then a rookie who's showing promise, no doubt, but maybe looks a little bit out of his depth at the moment at NBA level. That being said, then Bilal, Ollie, I saw you bring this up as well on the timeline, but there maybe would be a couple of rumblings that say, look, one guy that knows us, one guy that's been here before, that has shown that he can be impactful in a handful of minutes, but of course left under a very dark cloud, was Myers Leonard. Now we've seen that shaking his head already. We've seen that people in the organisation have said that Myers is a good guy. He made a mistake, but he gets it. He gets this culture. He gets what this team is about. Therefore, in a short-term deal, Bilal, would you do anything here? Would you take him on?
Personally, no.
Okay.
I just feel like his time here is done. We gave him a realistic contract last year, put us in a bit of a situation, and then everything what happened with what he done. I don't see us turning back to him, and I just don't feel like he is the person we need right now. I feel like if we are to integrate Yurtseven in, it might be a better option at the moment. And plus, Myers Leonard would only basically play a handful of minutes, which we can give to someone like Yurtseven or the OG. I feel to turn to the OG, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I think that's. I tend to agree with you. I think that is right, and even when we get Markeith back as well, we can always play a bit of small ball there as well to get through the minutes where Dwayne Dedman primarily is going to be resting. But I sort of tend to agree with you. I think I did put this out on a poll. It got a good couple of hundred votes on it, and a majority, I think about 61, 62% voted in favour of him not returning, which I have to say I probably do agree with. So we'll see what happens. Just before we leave the Cavs game, one. Sort of glaringly obvious thing that's going to need to be put right, Ollie, when you're missing Bam Adebayo, when you're missing Jimmy Butler, that's 40 to 50 points. You're going to need a hell of a lot more from your guards, aren't you? And Duncan Robinson gave us nothing. But we've covered Duncan enough. I'm not really going to get too much into Duncan. But Cole Lowry, who's been brilliant, not so much in the last couple of games. He needs to show a lot more aggression. You brought this up on the last stream in your late night takeaways that we're going to need to see a lot more attempt to score from Cole Lowry, and we didn't get that in the last game, which is a major point of why we got that defeat.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I brought it up. I think Kyle just needs to be more aggressive. I've noticed it quite a few times this season. He doesn't have that sort of, he's never been a score first guard per se, but he kind of needs to incorporate that into his game now, especially as you said, with Jimmy out for the next couple, Bam out for a prolonged period, Duncan doing what he's doing. The offensive sort of onus, I think, falls on Kyle, obviously in the starting group, and then Tyler off the bench. But yeah, we definitely need to see more from Kyle in terms of an aggressive driving to the rim, getting easy buckets, getting free throws, kicking out to, like I said the other night, he collapses defenses when he drives with intent, and then he's got the ability to play those passes out to wide open shooters in the corner. So we need more of that from him, and especially now that Jimmy and Bam are going to be out.
We do, and I think that was I think that would have been highlighted big time in that game because it's just so obvious that we're going to need a lot more from both our guards. I'm going to swing back round to you, Bilal, because we've got a brand new feature in a second coming up from Sam. But Bilal, coming back, last thing then, but I didn't want to talk too much about Duncan because I feel like we've spoke about him to death. But he did break this 69 game 3-point streak, franchise recording streak. That is now ended. For me, that's probably a good thing. It's one less thing on his mind. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's one less weight on his shoulders, but you see he's got another streak, and that's the consecutive games played, which is another thing on his shoulders. Like I think he's just thinking too much, and I feel like he could use a rest. But now that we're so short without Jimmy Butler and stuff, he's got to play, and I really hope he can turn it around. I'm rooting for him, and I think all the Heat Nation is as well.
Well, I think that's right, and that's the thing because you want to see it so clearly in his head. You can see it's affecting him, and anyone even on a human level doesn't want to see that. So I think that you're right. I think that the one thing that you highlight there is that he plays every game, which is a good thing. Is available to be available as a player in any sport is something that's big. So I think that's maybe one less thing off his mind. I'd love to see that it clears him now and he can get that early rhythm. But I think that tonight we might see something good from Duncan. Let's hope so, because if he can snap out of it, everything changes on offense, and he gives us so much of that. So we'll leave the Cavs game there. We'll come on to the Pacers in a second. But first of all, we have a brand new feature from your very own here, Sam Aquara. Sam, the culture countdown. Before we run with it, tell us all about it.
Well, I'm just going to give myself this nickname for this section. Just call me the Heat Culture Custodian. And what we're going to be doing is doing a countdown of the top 4 Heat Culture plays. You might be thinking, why 4? But I don't see why not. Why not go with 4? So yeah, we're going to count down the top 4 Heat Culture players from the start of the season till about this date. And yeah, let's let it roll.
Let's let it roll. Okay, I haven't been able to load this. I'm having to do this by a share, so hopefully this works. Let's do it. Sam, whenever you're ready, you just tell me to pause, all right?
All right, pause. So what's going to happen right here, we know Duncan Robinson's been on a bit of a shooting slump from the start of the season, but what stands out to me in this play is he's not giving up. Okay, so he's been hounded on defense. There's a loose ball. He jumps to the floor, hustles for the ball, passes it to the corner to PJ Tucker. Just let's see what happens right here. Pause. All right, so number 3, not a play, so pictures you can see, but yeah, Dan, carry on.
Love it. The coldest picture in Heat history, in my opinion. Love this.
All right, so press play. Let's get a pause right here. So yeah, what do you see when you look at this picture? I'll tell you what I see. And it's just an echo of what Bam's been saying since the start of the season. That's the kennel right there. The dogs are looking out for one another. And one subtle thing that hasn't really been mentioned all over Heat Twitter is we tend to worry about what's going on with the team and like, oh, we need this player, we need that player. But this picture says it all. Andy's got it under control. He's a man in the middle, just controlling the situation. If that doesn't say Heat culture to you, then I don't know what does. Let's keep playing. Just soak in the rest of this picture.
Absolutely, and that ring as well. Let's just look at that ring as well, just to bind it all off. Brilliant.
Number 2, we've got Bam Adebayo versus the Charlotte Hornets. So yeah, backstory of this game, Heat started blazing. We built up one hell of a lead, but unfortunately we started losing it off in the third, fourth quarter. And we got to a point in the fourth quarter where shots just weren't hitting. The Hornets were launching a comeback, and Bam just said, you know what? Give it to me under the basket and I'll go to work. Let it roll, Dan. So what you see, it's not just 1, not just 2, not just 3. We've got 4 Charlotte Hornet players all down low. And Bam just said, let me have it. Let me have it. And he just stuffs it in. And that is Heat culture. Keep it rolling. All right, I say it's a joint play. I've given it to Tyler Hero, but it is Tyler Hero and Max Strus in this play. And the one thing that sticks out to me in terms of Heat culture in this is just never give up. And fortunately, I've got something I can actually display right here. Permit me to stand up for a second. I don't know if you can see this, but this is a cutout for the Miami Herald from the day after Game 6 of the 2013 NBA Finals. And if any other game tells you anything in Miami, it's just comeback. The title says Comeback Kings. That's the newsprint. And it takes me back to the moment where the ropes are out, our backs were on the wall, and Heat just found a way to do it. So yeah. Now you can roll it. So, yeah. All right. We got 3 seconds on the clock. Pause. We've got less than 5 seconds on the clock in the first quarter. Insignificant minutes to anyone, but it's Heat. Everything matters. So we got Max Strus hustling to get a block on one end, dishing to Tyler Hero. Less than a second on the court. He launches a free. In. That's culture, man. Everything counts.
Boom. Brilliant. That was opening day as well, I think, wasn't it?
It was. It was.
That was
and
brilliant. Little round of applause for Sam Aquara. Love that, buddy. What a start. Love that. We're going to do one of those hopefully every quarter of the season. Brilliant stuff. Really enjoyed that. Well done, Sam. Great stuff, mate. Right, guys, let's come on to tonight's game then against the Pacers. Now, they're currently sitting at 12th seed, 9-15. They've lost their last 3. I got a little bit of stick from Giancarlo Navas and Brass when I'd done an Eastern Predictions preview before the season started, when I had the Pacers down at, I think, 12th or 13th. And they was like, sort of like, no, they're a better team than that. And to be honest, on paper, they probably are a better team than that. You know, Sabonis, Brogdon, Turner, PJ, Caris LeVert, this is a good team. But Ollie, here they are sitting, proving me right that there's you know, what is it? Is it a mentality thing, or because the roster is talented enough, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I think the first show that we did actually this season, we all kind of did our predictions and stuff, and I was the same as you. I think Indiana are just that, like, I think play-in is their ceiling, really. Like, it's not a diss or a knock to any of those players individually, because I think they're great players. Miles Turner and Sabonis, that's a big front court, and they're really talented guys. Malcolm Brogdon as well, who can run an offense brilliantly, and obviously they're missing Caris LeVert as well. But yeah, it's just Indiana. Like, I feel like for the last few years, ever since sort of they were going toe to toe with Miami back in 2013-14 when they had Paul George and stuff like that, ever since then they've just kind of been almost insignificant. I feel like it's a bit of a strong word, but yeah, I don't know if it is a mentality thing with them. I just don't think they have the longevity and the will almost, because I think they could, in the same sort of way that the Heat do, they can play above their talent level if they wanted to, just with extra effort and more hustle and a bit more grit and heart and stuff. But just seems like they struggle to do it on a regular basis, and I think that's one of the reasons why they are where they are at the moment.
Yeah, that's fair. And you say about the you know, they can outplay and out hustle maybe what their roster maybe says that they could do, but you know, they've lost their last 3, Bilal, but they was unlucky in all of those 3 games, all of them relatively close. And at home, they're actually a decent team. They're 6-5 at home. They lost to Atlanta last time out at home by 3 points, but they were sort of unlucky in that game. Atlanta got really hot in the fourth quarter because that was looking like a Pacers win. So the bookies have this as the Miami are the underdog here by about 5 points. So do you think that's fair?
Based on current form and the situation we're in, I do think it's fair. Historically, we have also struggled in Indiana, as you saw the last time we played. So I think it is fair that we are underdogs, but I'm taking a Heat W tonight.
Good, man. Well, we're going to do some predictions in just a minute, so I'm glad that you're feeling that already. Sam, one area that sort of was glaring in the last game out was our desire off the glass. We was poor rebounding. We was out-rebounded 46-28 against Cleveland, which is quite astronomical, but maybe not overly surprising because Cleveland are such a big team. But Dedmon with 13 of those rebounds, as I said, no production anywhere else. And what bothers me and concerns me with this game, Sabonis has always been a good rebounder and he's currently averaging about 12.5 rebounds per game. Again, it could have a big factor off the glass tonight. with no Bam as well.
Yeah, I think this game for me is like a turning point for this team. I feel after the last 3 to 5 days, a lot has happened, and the focus is kind of like, well, the team has had to refocus on what the end goal is. And like personally, for me, I don't feel like the regular season is as important anymore. I think it's all about getting players ready for the playoffs, and this sort of game is how to just get into it. So I'm hoping that the players sort of see that sort of urgency, and like we say, it's next man up. So the players can just take this as an opportunity to just like get in and just give it their all and just start or trying to rally for that, get ready for the final sort of slots that they might need them for in the playoffs. But yeah, it's just an effort thing, and I hope they'd be willing to put it all out today.
Yeah, I mean, it was one of those games against Cleveland, wasn't it? It just felt like from the off, the effort wasn't there. I think that was all still a bit reeling from the news with Bam and obviously losing Jimmy as well. And Jimmy's going to lose this back-to-back here on the road tonight and tomorrow night against the Bucks. So a little bit concerning. You think, well, you know, the momentum goes. You're losing an all-star for a long time. Jimmy's not going to be there for the next two. Very quickly, you could start looking at, you know, maybe this sort of 6, 7, 8 seed that are just behind us. Just finally, before we come on to some predictions, Ollie, like Sam just said there, does tonight sort of need to be a win? Is it almost must win, or are we just thinking now just seed wherever and get Bam back healthy and then we'll start making a run when the business end comes in?
I think it's maybe a little bit early for it to be a must win, but it's getting closer and closer to that point. I think, you know, Sam, as you were saying, just getting to the playoffs, that's the end goal of it. Ultimately, the end goal is to win a championship, and if we end up falling short of the playoffs, we're not going to do that. So yeah, I think just grinding out the next 4 to 6 weeks without Bam is going to be important. Hopefully we can get Jimmy back, and when he's back, he's healthy. If we can coincide Bam coming back with Oladipo coming back as well, that gives us another platform. And personally, if we can get home court in the playoffs, as long as we're top 4 seed into the playoffs, I've got no reservations, no doubts about this team. Like we were saying in the Culture Countdown, it's a team full of dogs, and I back these guys. So yeah, just if we can get home court, if we can ride the next 4 to 6 weeks and then get home court, then I think we'll be in a good position. But it might be a bit ugly up until that point. But we just
Bilal, just finally before we do the predictions, then it just shows you how quick things can roll and change in the NBA, because it was only a week or so ago we were saying, look, we're a game or 1.5 games back from top seed. We was looking good. We haven't really been. There've been areas where we've been missing key players. We've got through a really strong schedule to start, lots of road games, etc., etc., etc. And now suddenly we're looking at it as go, well, this could skid quite quick. But if we can get past All-Star break with everybody healthy, which I think is very much the case, I think that's very much doable. Does it really matter where we seed? I mean, home seed important, as Ollie said there. You'd like to think we've got that, but wherever we seed, as long as we're in there, if we're at full health in the playoffs, no one's going to want to play this team, are they?
Yeah, I agree. But I feel like we still need to try and get everything together. We don't want the load to be too much on Jimmy Butler in the regular season. As you've seen in the past, when Bam's been out, Jimmy's literally doing everything, and we don't want him to be burnt out for the playoffs. So I feel like if everyone chips in and everyone, like a team effort, basically, we can try and get a good seed, preferably, like Ollie said, home court, and we'll be good, because I don't want to be like last year where we dropped to the 6th seed, we got matched up against the champions, and then we got bounced early. So it's a bit of a
It's a good point. It's a good point. And Tiffany, who's in the chat here, has said, we've got it all comes on the backcourt, doesn't get chemistry before the playoffs. It's going to be an early off season. And to highlight that, along with what you just said there, Bilal, what you don't want to do is drop too far and end up with a Nets or Milwaukee first round, because yes, it could be an early off season, but a lot of basketball to play before then.
Or a play-in situation.
I don't even start with the play.
I'm not even thinking about that.
Let's not even go there, guys.
No.
It's incredible, isn't it? We're talking about 1 seed, 2 seed. This is good. All the rest of it. Now we're a week later. We're talking about playing. Nope. Let's stop it right there. Right. Okay, guys. Let's do some predictions. Tonight's game against the Indiana Pacers. We said last time, Sam, about Heat are already normally pretty good at a bounce back. We didn't bounce back against the Cavs. Can we do it this time round?
Ooh, I don't know. I'm struggling to be positive right now. It's going to be a close game. I hope. And I'm going to say Heat, one possession, Heat by a point.
Heat by a point. We'll take it. We will take it all day. Ollie, yeah, Heat are currently in the bookies a -5.5 underdog in the point spread. As I said, Pacers not good at the moment, but showing a winning record at home. What have you got?
Yeah, I'm the same as Sam. It's going to be tight. If it is tight, I'll be happy because put up a bit more fight than we did against Cleveland. So hopefully a narrow Heat win. Tyler and Kyle to step up, and yeah, Heat by 2 or 3, hopefully.
Okay, another tight win. Bilal, you'd already sort of put your intentions forward that you're feeling a Heat win tonight. So what have you got for us?
Yeah, I'm saying Heat by 5. So the other way from the bookies. So Heat by 5. Tight game. But yeah.
Tight game, yeah. I think we're going to expect a tight game. It's always actually a pretty tight game against Indiana, unless we're playing them in the playoffs, of course. Then we just blow them off the court. But I'm going to agree with you. I see a comeback game tonight. I see an aggressive game. Spo's going to have got in the lad this over the last 24 hours or so. He's going to cook up some pretty neat plays here, hopefully to sort this out. And I think Carl's going to be good. I think Duncan Robinson is going to go off tonight. I'm going to say 6 threes for Duncan.
I hope so. He needs it. He needs it.
Heat by double digits, guys. I don't know why. I'm going Heat by 10. I don't know why. Blind optimism.
Love it.
Blind optimism, but we love it. We'll take it all day long as we get that W and then on to Milwaukee. So, guys, thanks for joining me. As always, we are on the in-game comms tonight. Midnight tips are relatively early for us tonight. Midnight tips. So follow us there. Please subscribe to Miami Heat UK TV. We'll hopefully see you tomorrow to preview the game against the Bucks. Hopefully talking about a Heat win.